Hello everyone, my name is James Clem. Welcome to Halo Reach gameplay again. By the title, this is Arby and the Chief Season 7 Episode 5 review. I've actually never done an Arby and the Chief review ever. I never really even planned to do Arby and the Chief reviews ever either. But I just saw today's episode and I was pretty blown away by what happened. And I decided, you know what, I think I'll start reviewing the season with this episode. I won't do it with the other episodes simply because they already aired and it's been quite a while, but this episode came out fairly recent today. I'll probably upload this tomorrow, which is Sunday. But anyway, this is my review for Arby and the Chief Season 7, Episode 5. The video is in the description. Go watch it, come back. There are going to be spoilers in this video, so please watch it because they will probably destroy your entire experience with the show because something major happened. So I want you to watch it before you watch my video. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you the humongous spoiler that happened in the episode. Like I said, if you haven't seen the episode, please go watch it because you're going to be so spoiled. So, here we go. Here's the spoiler. Chief murders Cortana. Straight up murders Cortana. Wow. I never, ever expected that to happen. Murders? Chief murders Cortana. What is up with that? I guess you could say, well, James, the oven technically killed her. Then I'd be like, okay, well, super technically, Chief indirectly killed Cortana. But no. Chief murders Cortana. Whoa. Just wow. I never, ever expected John to take that twist, especially in Arby and the Chief. And it's ironic because Chief is such a unserious character. Like, everything he says is so bullshit. And when he tries to be serious, he never is serious. Or, like, it never comes off as serious to anyone else. So it's funny to see a character who's really never serious at all commit a humongous serious crime, essentially. Chief murders Cortana. I mean, I'm going to keep repeating that till it gets set in stone. And I don't think how many times I keep saying it, it won't get set in stone. Chief murders Cortana with an oven. Melts her. And then after he kills her, he scrapes off her dead remains and then flushes it down the toilet and puts a little stand and hides it away. Now, I know that Arby and the Chief, you know, they are toys, so technically they're not real people, but I'm treating this as a real event because this is a story, and this is, you know, I'm treating this as a real thing because, like I said, it is a story, so I'm going to treat it as a real thing. I said that 3 times. But yeah, I'm going to give an overview of the episode, and pretty much, that's pretty much the main point. I mean, it's called Heat for a reason. I guess not because stuff is heating up in the episode, but because Cortana literally gets heated up and she dies. So what happens is, Chief wakes up in the morning, 343 reference, obviously. That's his alarm clock. It goes off with Halo 3 music. I think it's called Journey or something. I forget the track name. But he wakes up and then he goes to Cortana's sleeping and he puts her in an oven. And at this point, Chief thinks that the oven is unplugged, yet it's not unplugged. He thinks it is though, and he tells Cortana to take everything back he said about him in the previous episode. Pretty much in the previous episode, Cortana like insulted the shit out of Chief, and he just wanted Cortana to you know, say she was deeply sorry and take everything back she said, or else he will kill her. And Cortana thinks that Chief is calling a bluff and is just bullshitting everything, and she's like, fuck you, Chief, I'm not doing it. And then Chief actually goes to turn on the oven, and he thinks it's off. Like I said, he only wanted to like, you know, press the buttons to scare Cortana like it's actually happening. And you know, yeah, he's just pretty much scaring her. And when he turns on the button, you know, Cortana doesn't get that fray, but then like the gas starts coming on because the oven actually is on, and Cortana's like, oh shit, Chief, I can hear the gas. And then you know, Chief thinks that she's kidding. She's like, yeah, bitch, tell me you're sorry. And then he goes down to her, and then all of a sudden it just ignites in fire, and she was like, oh shit. And then he quickly tries to turn off the oven, but it's too late. Cortana gets incinerated. And then he takes her remains, and then, like I said, he like flushes it down the toilet, and he pretty much hides the fact that he murdered Cortana. Now, Greg finds out, Greg is the spider, Greg finds out that Chief murders Cortana. And I wish that when she was actually doing this event, we would see, like, in the corner that, like, there's a spider web where we see Greg in the corner. Or just we find out, or just, you know, it hints to us that, yes, Greg found out, but that doesn't happen. It's, like, out of the blue, Greg knows that Chief killed Cortana. And Greg's going to tell the Arbiter, but then Chief is like, oh, well, if you tell the Arbiter, then, you know, like, shit was always kind of bad to begin with. And he tells Greg that if you tell the Arbiter, then things are going to be more unbalanced here, and it's going to be even worse. So then Greg, surprisingly, does not tell Arbiter, and he tells, like, later on when Arbiter asks for, like, where Cortana is, he makes up a story saying, oh, I forget what it was, but I think Cortana got, like, donated to, like, a community church, or she got, or it's just some, she got donated to, like, some charity, and she's never coming back, and she hated living here, and all that stuff. And Arbiter already blames Chief for Cortana's absence, saying that it's his fault that she left, and it's funny because he murdered Cortana. And yeah, so overall, what pretty much happens is Chief sets up the Cortana murder, not actually going to try to, you know, kill Cortana, but just setting it up. It actually happens, and the aftermath of the event. Greg knows, Chief knows, Arbiter has no idea. He suspects something's up, but he probably has no idea that a murder happened. And I know, I mean, even though you can't see into Chief's eyes because he's wearing a helmet, all the scenes that John sets up to the point where triple kill, to the point where it's going to show. I'm saying stupid stuff. All this stuff leading up to the end, like the final scene with Chief, the way that John shoots it, and like if there's any music, or just the atmosphere, and like I said, the way that John shoots it, it really shows that Chief is going, and he is not going to be the same. Like a perfect example is when in season 2 of The Walking Dead, spoiler alert, when Shane kills Otis after he shapes his head, you can clearly see that he's not going to be the same. Same with this. You can clearly see from the way that, like, the shots are lined up and the way that John portrayed this, Chief is not going to be the same. Like, this is really going to fuck him up. And it's really interesting to see a character like Chief get so traumatized by that. I mean, right now he's not really traumatized, but you can clearly see that he's going to be messed up in the future. And when Arbiter finds out about this, oh my God, stuff's gonna go down, and it's not gonna be the same. And I really hope that John keeps Cortana dead. I'm not trying to be mean by keeping the character dead, but I mean, it's like a perfect example is in Modern Warfare 2 when Ghost and Roach died, and a lot of people did not want to believe that Roach and Ghost died. However, you know, like they get shot by Shepard, and well, I guess I could say spoiler alert. They get shot by Shepard. And you're like, okay, anyone can live a gunshot wound, I guess. Then they get lit on fire. So yeah, at that point, it's like, okay, yeah, we know that they're dead and they're not coming back. Same with this. John shows Cortana in an oven. Okay, she gets melted. Maybe she's alive. Chief scraps out her remains. They fall to the ground, and she pretty much flushes her dead remains down the toilet. So at this point, it's pretty obvious that Cortana's dead and not coming back. And I kind of hope it stays like that, not some bullshit, oh, she lived somehow, which is impossible. And I mean, John did try this whole killing thing. He tried this really dark tone in One Life Remaining season 2. In my opinion, that failed miserably. However, he tried it again in Arby and the Chief, and it really worked out well. But like I said, this is a dramatic turn for the show, and it's not going to be the same. At this point, it's going to be, honestly, like, the series could end with, like, Chief and Arbiter, like, never talking to each other ever again, and just, like, Chief could die or something. Like, he's really taken this such in an opposite direction I never expected to take. Is it a good thing? I don't really know. I think this is such an extreme direction that it's just, like I said, it's been done, so there's no going back at this point. I do think that killing off Cortana was a bit too quick. Way too quick, actually. And I do think Season 7 overall was way too quick to begin with. Like, Season 6 aired, and then literally like 3 weeks later, Season 7 airs, and I think it's way too quick. I mean, I never said that about a show. I'm happy that Arby and Chief is back, but I never said that that it's too quick for something that I like a lot to come back. It was too quick for Season 7 to air, and I think Cortana should have gotten a bit more screen time But she is dead now. So overall, I give this episode probably an A-. It was such a dramatic turn for the show, such a dramatic turn for Chief's character, such an extreme twist that I think it's going to change Season 7 up drastically, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. A- for this episode, probably A+ if like if a fight or some other things went down. But overall, fantastic work by John. You literally revived the show for me. So that's it for my review. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I'm just blown away. Wow. Thank you for watching.